Hey everybody, Pastor Zach here. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today as we gather together. As always, I invite you to share your questions, your comments, even your smart remarks as we gather and build community together. I was struck. So last week, our national church gathered in Phoenix, Arizona to meet, to discuss, to vote, to be in fellowship, to be in community, to worship together, and to do all sorts of things. Now, there was another church group that came to protest it. And I'm not going to talk about what they protested or who they were, but it struck me as I went through the week and as I looked at all of the stuff that the church was discussing, the people that were discussing, and my thought is this group is known for protesting stuff, and I'm thinking of going, how do we live our faith? Do we live our faith by protesting, by telling people you aren't right, you need to conform to our way of understanding, to seek to force people or to berate, or is that living out faith? And I think so often those that struggle with faith, those that struggle with institutions, with church, that's what they see. They see groups expecting you to conform to them rather than seeing you as a child of God that is beloved, and that love shown in human form that is imperfect invites you to be transformed. And my thinking in this is, what would happen if they spent half as much time that they do protesting, if they took half of that time away and did good in the world? What would that look like? What would it look like for us to take that step back, to not react, but to respond? What would that look like in our faith life? What would that look like personally? How would we be able to live and to engage that? This past weekend, we had a mini mission trip here at church for people of all ages. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of hard work that we did. We got a lot of cool stuff accomplished. Some stuff will be coming out that. Haven't had enough coffee yet. More information, pictures, and whatnot will be coming out shortly. But what I was struck by is how much we were able to accomplish living our faith. We talked about this, and it really becomes why do we do things? For the church, it's based in Jesus. It's Jesus' promise, Jesus' presence. It's this call to serve. It's what transforms us to go from this is all about me to I want to care for my neighbor. I want to care for the person down the street, across the road, down, across the country, across the world who is in need, because I want them to know that they are cared for, that they are loved, and that they mean something, that they matter. That is what, to me, living out faith looks like. And we got to do that this weekend. We got to do that with some of our members, and it was a lot of fun. And it was something special. And, some of our youth ideas started a program that we have now called Interwoven, where we do small bits of that throughout the year, where we get together and fellowship and worship and have fun and serve. But we build community, and it's for people of all ages. And it's powerful because how we live our faith shows people something. Shows them something about us, but it also shows them something about God. And I guess as I was thinking about this, my question is, what type of God do we want to share? Do we want to share a God that's loving and caring and that is, welcoming and engaging and inviting and seeks to love you for who you are? Or do we want to share a God that only loves you if you conform? Now, if you read the Bible, you can read it in sort of both ways. I choose to read it that we have a God who loves us for who we are, mistakes and all. That we have a God who invites us to come ask over and over and over and over again for forgiveness, even for the same stuff. That we have a God who challenges us to transform, not because we're not what we need to be, but because out of love, we get to do something powerful. We get to be part of something bigger. We get to serve our neighbor. We get to share that love of God for the world around us. A God who created everything, who created you, who created me, because God thought the world needs one of them. That doesn't mean we don't mess up, that we don't falter, that we struggle sometimes with stuff. That's okay. That's part of what it means to be human. None of us are perfect. And yet we have an opportunity. We have a joyful opportunity to connect, to serve, to engage the world around us, to live out this faith. One of the passages that we talked about is one of my favorite passages. I've talked about this all the time. If you get an email personally from me, it's on my email signature, and it's the paraphrase of Micah 6:8. It says, "What does the Lord require of us but to seek restorative justice, practice faithful love, and walk in humbleness with God?" And it's that practice faithful love. We practice because we're not perfect at it. I was at an event many years ago with my father, a woodworking event, and the instructor said, "Practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes precision." And that has struck me. We'll never be perfect, but we can be a little bit better when we practice love. We can be a little bit better. And if we slide back, if we mess up, we can try again. We can keep practicing. So, what are you practicing today, this week, in your life? What are you struggling with? Where are your hopes? How are you living that faith? Where are you in that process, that journey? But more importantly, how can we walk with you? We invite you to share your prayer requests, your hopes, your promises, your God sightings. Where did you see God this week? Join us for worship at 8:15 and 9:30 as we gather on site and online here at AELC. Look forward to spending some time with you. And as always, don't forget, comment, ask questions, smart remarks below, and please share this with somebody that might appreciate it today. Thanks. Have a great day. God bless everybody.